Hey guys, it's Wednesday. The silver lining of today is that I finally got all of my Christmas shopping done, which is excellent because I don't usually leave it so late rather than wait for it to be delivered. And I'm sorry about the little earthquake that's going on right now, but the cat's hitting the back of my laptop, so the screen's shaking and the webcam is on the top of the screen, obviously, and that's what I use to record my videos. So yeah, there was a little mini earthquake there, but I promise I'm in no danger whatsoever. But there was an earthquake in Cumbria. I was a bit confused about that. I was like, what's an earthquake doing in Cumbria, of all places? Yeah, you probably have no idea what I'm going on about. Viv might. Of course, the theme of this week is 5 random things. And the first random thing can be the cat causing the earthquake. The second random thing is this Pirates of the Caribbean board game that I didn't even know I had. I came across it, I think it was yesterday when I was cleaning out my room, because it has to be tidy for when Father Christmas comes. So yeah, I was cleaning out my room and I came across that game and I was like, I don't know where that came from. I don't even think I've actually played it because it was still in its cellophane. So I opened it and I didn't have a game because there was only me in the house at the time, but I looked at it and I went, that looks like a really crap game. Because it's like, you roll the dice and you go around and you get nothing. At least when you play Monopoly, you know, you get £200 or whatever, $200, whatever it is, for pass and go. And you can buy stuff. With that, it's just, let's go round the board. Random thing number 2 is my new phone. It's not so much the phone that's random, although it is an LG, and I have now had 3 LG phones in a row, so that's a bit random. But the fact that it is called Optimus can in itself be a bit random, because that is actually the reason I bought it, because I don't know how many of you actually know this, so you might well, but I kind of lose track of how much of my obsession do you actually know about. I'm quite attached to the Transformers series, not so much to the Michael Bay films, but certainly the old cartoons. I love cartoons. I love, you might have noticed. So yeah, I bought it because it was called the Optimus. Random thing number 4 is my Alice in Wonderland cards. They came with my pre-ordered Alice in Wonderland 2010 DVD because I absolutely love Alice in Wonderland, especially the books. But the film, the Tim Burton film, was also quite good. I was a bit surprised actually. I wasn't expecting it to be that good. Random thing number 5 is the picture that you can hopefully see there. I'm not quite sure how well I'm getting it in screen. And I don't actually know why I like it quite so much because basically what it is it's a woman in a bath with a book and a woman eating cake. But it's a really fun picture to have on my wall, even though I wake up every morning and it's the first thing I see and I think, why did I buy that? Okay, and now it's time for the challenge of the week, which is a story or poem or whatever, but I wrote a story, so a story about a lonely little snowflake. And actually, before I begin, I just have to say how much I loved yours. You said the name and I was like, melt, melt the snowflake. Anyway, on to my story. There once was a lonely snowflake. She didn't have a name because her parents, Mother Cloud and Father Cold, had so many children that they stopped naming them and simply resorted to giving them numbers. This little snowflake, if you were curious, was number 20,523,099. The snowflake technically didn't even have a gender, but it seems a little bit cruel to be calling it all the time, so I made it female, just for the purpose of the story. And despite having so many siblings, this little snowflake had absolutely no friends. It was hard to make friends with siblings that eventually drifted away and never came back, you see. Part of the loneliness that plagued this little snowflake was actually from the pain of missing the old friends that left home to view the land below. This land was called Earth. And although her siblings felt so much curiosity about this Earth, the little snowflake refused to follow in their footsteps and explore. This, by the way, shows much independence and something called thinking for yourself, which everyone should try at least once. Exasperated by the child's reticence, Mother Cloud and Father Cold finally gave the little snowflake, who had actually grown quite big by now, an ultimatum. She could either go to Earth, or she could wander the skies alone forever. And so it was that the little snowflake left home and fell a very long way, all the way to Earth. On the way she passed many of her brothers and sisters, all of them heading vaguely in the same direction, but moving far too quickly to ever converse. This particular snowflake found the city she did not recognise. This was hardly surprising, of course, since she had never researched Earth, or even bothered to leave home with a certain destination in mind. And besides, the importance of this snowflake lies not in the city that she fell, but rather in the window ledge on which she landed. From her position she could see a rather large green thing in a corner. It was decorated with multicoloured circles of some description and many gleaming lights. There was even a star on top, and so, comforted by the presence of something familiar, the snowflake stared, entranced, as two little humans raced each other into the room, both of them diving for something beneath the tree. After a while, two larger humans entered, and with them brought order to the room. For the rest of the day, the snowflake watched and learned. This, she realized, was why her family loved to visit Earth so much, even if it meant that they could never return. They glimpsed something so warm and loving that it literally melted them. So Andy, I will see you on Friday. Can't wait to hear your story.